And we're back. Sorry about this. I pressed the wrong button. I pressed the wrong button. So, yeah, I'm so sorry. So we got a very, very important scene. And again, I think this is a scene that kind of exaltates Michael. So we have who? We have DB Cooper that see the Pope. The Pope says, listen, I'm sorry to say that, but your daughter is very sick. She doesn't have a long time. And DB's like, yeah, but since it's such a bad period of time, you guys are gonna not allow me to see her. And the Pope's like, no, I tried, bro. I cannot do anything for you. So this will give the Pope, this will give DB a reason to, will give him a reason to, how do I say this? To want to escape. Now, DB was a no. There's a chance that Michael had Tweener join the crew because DB said no, and they had a spot. Now, ultimately speaking, is it said in the show? No. Is it specified in the show? No. So I don't know. So we have the scene where Tweener comes in and he's seen stealing the watch, which is actually pretty cool. We got to get the governor, and it's nuts because it's more torture. This guy is just straight up cruel. He's just straight up cruel. And what they do, which is actually kind of cool, is they trap him in a hole. Why is that kind of cool? Because this guy was straight up evil. Would you do that to Letterman? I don't know. So that's kind of nice. DB comes in, gives the watch to Michael, a gift from Sully. We learn that DB and Tweener are cellmates, which is cool because DB will not take advantage of Tweener. Tweener is a young guy, you want to protect the young guy. He's like a younger brother. So DB's like, yo, I want to be part of it. And Michael's like, yeah, but you're not DB Cooper. I need DB Cooper. And DB gives a bill of cash from the bank. Now, why is that important? Well, because he studied the case in and out, he knows that the serial number of the bills. That's kind of important. LJ leaves, and then he has the gun. Now, the important part is, this is so fucked up. The governmental guy got neighbors. Look at this. Here's old truck. SMO tree. AM. Only streaming. So yeah, what is kind of cool is the agent's such a piece of shit that he put him in the hole. And he plugged the hole. The agent is such a piece of shit that he calls Hale and Letterman and like, nah, fuck you, we're not gonna help you. So as sign of revenge, what he does is he writes the name of the two agent for Project Justice, which is absolutely phenomenal. Michael hides the device, which is kind of important. They use the device and they decide that they have 18 minutes. They decide that they have 18 minutes, which is a certain amount of time to get to the infirmary. They say it's 2 minutes per people. They say there's too many people. Now, of course, the first one to go is going to be Teabag. But it sucks because Tweener didn't make the list. Maybe there was 2 more people, you know? So Bellic goes to a strip club, and then he goes to see Nina, which is Michael's wife. And he tells him what is the truth, what happened. And then Nina tell him, like, yo, she betrays Michael. And people are going to be like, yo, she didn't betray Michael, but she did. I'm going to be very, very blunt here. She tells Bellic what Michael asked her to do. But like, yeah, but Bellic was going to send her back out to the country. Yeah, but who got her in the country was Michael. If it wasn't for Michael, the guy you're betraying, you wouldn't be here. You understand? So yeah, Michael goes in. If there's too many people, DB proves that it is the right person. Sarah confronts Michael and says, yo, guess what? I know you're married. And Michael tells her it's more, whatchamacallit, it's more complicated than that. Now, the cool thing is that it's actually phenomenal. It's absolutely phenomenal. Because the cool thing is, how do I say this? Sarah's like, yo, I understand that you want to flirt, but you didn't have to go as far as you did if you're married. I don't even care that you're married, but you went too far and you made me have feelings. So you realize that Sarah's also human, right? But again, we got the cops. It's super funny because Lerman spits on the guy just to show how much he hates him. Again, it's an opportunity for Hell to say, listen, we're going too far. Which we get, bro. We get you're not as involved as he is. Again, we know that there's one too many people. This is how the episode ends. There's one too many people. So got season 1, episode 12, Redemption. Wait, is that it? No, that's not it. There's a whole episode of backstory, which is great. Lincoln warns Michael that a member of the group has to be put aside. Abruzzi warns they're gonna kill Teabag if he doesn't leave the group. So nobody wants to leave the group, but Abruzzi is like, yo, I'm gonna kill Teabag. I'm gonna rid the world of this evil. And then it's tough. Because this is why. We're like Abruzzi, but at the same time, it's such a shady plot. Because I'm gonna kill Teabag if this is one too many. And then John is gonna find John Abruzzi. Gonna find God, which is a great thing because possibly Italian, possibly very religious, but at the same time, dude, this is not the moment right now, and you're putting the whole planet in danger for a belief, which is great, but a belief that you didn't have in your whole entire life. So we have Michael doing more and more. See, this is the craziest thing. People are asking Michael, do you work as much as you pretend you do? And Michael is literally always working, which is great. For example, he's gonna be using a button. This is so cool. Look at this. This is so cool. He's working very hard. He has a rope. He has everything in here, and it's kind of nuts because how do I put this? I wanted more moments with Michael working. You know, the breaking the floor is good because of the banter. Does it lead us somewhere? No. So now we have Teabag calling his cousin to say, hey, listen, I'm going to be escaping. Here's the plan, and if it doesn't go well, tell the Pope. Because he knows that he's the odd one out. So this is Teabag being smart. Teabag is very smart. Now, CPAT listens to Lincoln, and that's kind of crazy because CPAT listened to Michael and Lincoln talk. And he's like, yo, I know there's one too many people, right? And then this is such an important scene. It's a beautiful scene. I love that scene. So everybody, when they say there's one too many, everybody looks at Teabag and say, fuck you. But then Teabag's like, no, I don't think so. To my cousin, see? And if it doesn't work, I'm gonna tell the whole plan to the Pope. So we need to have him. He have a contingency. CPAT is telling Sucre what I told you before. So he tells you, hey, you think Michael tells you everything? And Sucre, who has his back, is like, yeah, he tells me everything. And then CPAT tells him, guess what he tells him? Guess what he tells him? I bet you he tells you things like, the less you know, the better. And Sucre kind of doubts Michael a little bit. So that's super cool. They go to Veronica and Nick, they go to the hospital, but then there's a bullet. So Nick's like, no, don't take me to the hospital, they're gonna call the cops. Why did you go to the hospital then? It's so dumb. Tells Sarah and Michael, which is kind of sad because it's always an in and out But in this one, it's not like she's pissed at him. She's hurt. He hurts her feeling. And when you're mad, you're like, oh, chill. But then you hurt her feelings, you feel bad, right? See you at the next one. See, now the sun is going up, so you have to continue inside. But Abruzzi, is starting to believe in God. Now, this is the cool thing. Abruzzi, you see, he's talking to Lincoln. Why is that a cool thing? Well, because Abruzzi didn't talk to Lincoln before. Abruzzi didn't want to work with Lincoln before. So this is an evolution. Yeah, the sun is too strong. I'm gonna have to go in. Because it's very important for me to be able to see the screen. Like I said, I'm a visual learner. I'm kind of cheating. I don't have all of these scenes memorized. But when I see the scene, I'm like, okay, yeah. I remember around that time what he says. For example, the thing with CPAT. I remember what he said because to me it was important. Now, is every single scene as important as this one? No. So I don't remember everything. By the way, a little bit of a break, but today we're beating the game Elden Ring. So I'm extremely excited about that. Na. Sur la route, pam. Don't worry, I'll take off this because it's noisy, right? There you go. Okay, good. So now we have his cousin. My cousin, and the whole thing with John needs this scene, which is kind of bad but kind of good. So it needs a scene of they kill the kid for John to be like, oh, we went too far. And because we went too far, John has to fix it. So, my apologies. And this one is actually quite nice. So we got, what is that?
Follow his lead. We want the trifecta today.
Trifecta is Nick. Trifecta is Veronica. Trifecta is LJ. I don't remember who they're putting in the ground. You're not gonna show me, huh?
You remember, be patient.
I forgot who was the funeral for.
Yeah. There yet? Almost. You remember, be patient. Follow his
lead.
We want the trifecta today.
Well, I don't remember what it is. So then, sorry about this. The phone is such a freaking mess. So this is where they tell John, like, yo, we killed the boy. The father used the son as a shield. And John asked him what age and what is the sex of the baby. The reason as to why is he literally has a kid that age. Sucre finally see Maricruz. And this is insane because this is one of the biggest reveal in the show.
Hi.
Maricruz.
I came here.
It's a shame, but it's one of the most beautiful scenes. So she tells him that she has a baby. She tells him that she has a baby, but he's not going to be there. And he tells her, and she tells him, like, listen, Carlos doesn't mind raising your baby. You like Carlos. Carlos is a good dude. He's going to be raising your baby. He's going to, please don't do that. I need you. You understand? Okay, perfect. That's good. So, basically speaking, this is going to be, see, this is kind of nonsensical. This is kind of hard to understand. It's kind of hard to believe. Doesn't make a lot of sense. But basically, CPAT telling Sucre to be more careful is a scene that plays in his mind when Maricruz is going to put more pressure on it, you know? This is important. The funeral was actually for LJ's parents. I'm not connected to the internet. The heck? Okay, I'm not connected to the internet. Bullshit. Okay, give me a sec. Sorry about this, guys. Sorry about this. Okay, good. Good. Perfect. So yeah, so LJ's mom is being um, put in here so that way that's important because we know that LJ is gonna be there. Sucre asks Michael, "Yo, why you don't tell me? This is important." John sees a thing of mold and he thinks it's a second coming of Christ. It kind of looks like a crucifix, to be honest, which is nice. Not the crucifix. What is a crown of thorn? There's a word for that. There's a crown of thorn. So John has little vision about his son is one in the coffin. So what happened is this is very smart. So they see LJ, and instead of killing LJ, what they do is they're going they follow him back to the hospital, which is really good. The warden tells Theodore about his cousin being dead, the cousin that was supposed to say the plan. So he got killed the same day he said, "My cousin's gonna help me out." So he knows that is the guys. John is reminded of what he's done as bad. One of the scenes that he's done that is bad is cutting this toe of Michael. This is kind of important. We got Tweener that's looking for protection. He didn't get it from the inmate, so he goes to Bellic, which is kind of insane. Michael is putting water in the drain. The reason as to why he's doing that is because he wants to see how far he can go. He needs the rope to be putting it up. That way he can reach up. So one of the way to do that is you have this literal like pool, and by raising the water, you can swim up. So gravity doesn't become an issue. That's what he's trying to do. And he sees how much time it takes to get some water, which is kind of important. We have John, who is literally saying, "Yeah, well, I have to kill T-Bag, but I also have to do this." So he has the shank, and it's kind of nuts. It's kind of nuts. It's kind of nuts because he's like, I don't know if I'm gonna kill John, but I'm still gonna have the shanks. Sucre asks Michael for information. Michael doesn't give him the information. He says, Michael's like, "Why do you want the information? You know I got your back. We're doing this for your own good. If the Pope gets you, you don't have information, you don't know, you're not in trouble. I'll get all the trouble." So Bellic is offering protection to Tweener, which is kind of bad. But at the same time, it's like, yo, I don't know, man. I don't know. Snitch business is no good. We got Ale. He trying to back out, and he said, "Yo, we should leave, possibly." So kind of betraying everybody. Now Michael is able to check out that he did everything good. He's able to put the rope. He's able to swim up, and it's funny because who do we see? We're seeing Sarah. There you go. This is Sarah. So we have the confirmation that he went to to the to the infirmary. Ale called Veronica and he's like, "Yo, I got you back. I got you back. I'm gonna be helpful." Now the cool thing is he's doing this to atone. He doesn't need anything in return. So this is super important. John goes to kill Teabag, but then after that he says, "No, I'm not gonna kill you. I changed my mind. I want to save you." So then Teabag's like, "Thank you so much," and then he hits John and the juggler with a blade. So he could have killed John.
So good. Then you won't mind me checking it out.
The corrupted cops comes in, and he's like, "I want to check out the PI room," and then Lincoln stop him, which basically leads to a fight between him and Lincoln and the cops, which means that Lincoln will be put in solitary confinement, which means that he doesn't have access to PI.
Previously on Prison Break.
We'll do another one. I have time for another one, but I still have time. We have to go. I'm gonna have to go. So we saw that Sarah is taking care of John because John again had his jugular cut off. So this is pretty bad because he has to go to the infirmary. We got Popes.
I'm sorry, sir. It's not your right to see him. Until tomorrow. And his execution.
Yeah, this is tough. They were ready to leave. They had to till the next day to do so, but they left. Now this is kind of like a very heroic thing from Lincoln. Lincoln's like, yo, we go out tomorrow. I know how close we are to quitting, to leaving the prison, but if I can save my little brother to going out, I'll do it. So we got Teabag is like, fuck your brother, we're going. And then Michael says, you don't know what you're doing. You're not know what you're doing. I'm in charge here. You're only coming because I allow you to come. I'm holding the phone on a very, very thin layer of fabric, so this is why it's falling a lot. So everybody is going after. Everybody is going after Teabag, so fuck him. Sucre is very sad. And you know what's insane? Sucre, even though him and Michael had problem yesterday, Sucre takes care of Michael.
Say something. I know you're not gonna want to hear it, but they're strapping him up either way now. Once he's gone, you'll be stuck here for another 5 years. And if they trace the whole back to you, they'll toss another dime. That's
Yeah.
15 years, Poppy.
Sucre still care about Michael a lot. And he's like, and actually Sucre is right here. Like, so here it is. And this is what I love about the show. Teabag said, fuck your brother. He's gone. We're still escaping. Michael's like, fuck you. We're escaping with my brother. Sucre comes in and it's like, yo, I'm gonna let you love your brother. I love him too, but there's no getting him out of there. He's stuck there, man. There's no hope. There's no hope at all. That I kind of enjoyed. So we got Nick and the hospital saying, hey, where's LJ? I'm worried about him because LJ's gonna go after little man. We've got CPAC who's calling his wife. And then you get more of his backstory, how he lied. He is in Iraq. He is a prisoner, and it's kind of nice because CPAT is getting some backstory. So this is, how can I say this? How can I say this? I would have put the backstory in before, but you putting it's kind of weird. It's not because it gives this backstory, but since we already know backstory of everybody, it's kind of weird to get CPAT so late. We got Michael who had a pill in his arm. That pill will send you to hospital. Now this is a cool thing. He had this pill just in case. He couldn't. It's kind of cool because you can kind of tell why did he have the pill in the first place. Well, for example, if he wasn't able to convince Sarah that he was diabetic, could have been something good. So the Pope, he gave the Pope the pills. He gave the Pope the cross. Like, this is kind of important. Michael comes in and he's like, yo, we have a bigger problem. I need your help, Sarah. And Sarah's not gonna help him. We got a janitor that finds a hole in the drain, which is kind of crazy because, how can I put this? He finds the hole in the drain, and finding the hole in the drain is one of the biggest parts. See, the whole thing was contingent on the specific parts. Okay, so you're good. You're still recording. Nice. And you're good. You're still recording. That's awesome. That's awesome. Perfect. Okay. Because, you see how sunny it is outside? Can't take risk, bro. Anyway, we're almost done. I got half an episode left. That we're doing a taste test for ice cream. And the whole rest of the day, I'm just chilling. So, Michael is able to give the pills to the Pope, to Lincoln. It's kind of cool because this makes sense, but it does make sense. Why hide? It still brings the question of why hide that he was your brother. Now, Veronica goes to the media and say there's something there. Now, the craziest thing is she doesn't have any information yet. She'll have it tonight. Also, you got Els that betrays him. And Linderman is like, yo, something is wrong with that guy. Something is wrong. He's going to betray me, something. But that's the beginning. And it doesn't feel wrong for Letterman to think that Hell's going to betray him because Hell has been showing signs that he regrets what he's doing since a while now. So Michael comes in and he breaks the pipe, which will give them more time. However, is it gonna be enough time now that we know the drain's gonna be fixed? I don't freaking know. We have this DB, and he saves the day. He tells Michael that, yo, if the chair isn't working, this will add another 3 weeks to his thing. So we get Veronica and Lincoln, and there's a really important scene where she kisses him, meaning she's still in love. That's the 2009 way of saying she's still in love. 2025 ways of sucking dicks. Back in the days it was kissing. So Lenderman goes after the wife, the other guy, but she's not gonna hurt him. He's not gonna hurt her. So Lincoln is taking the pills, which will bring him to the infirmary, which he can access, which is kind of nuts. So now they get to the plan. This is the night. This is the night where the plan is to be made. The way to escape. Everything is ready. If Lincoln is in the infirmary, he can take care of everything, which is kind of important. We got Elle and Veronica. Elle's gonna give her a paper and say the truth. The guy that Lincoln supposedly killed isn't even dead. So he's not dead. And why is it important is because it's all part of the plan. They prove that this guy is alive, then there's no exit. CPAT is like, yo, this is where it gets really cool. John is in an infirmary, which means there's one less people. And T-Bag's like, yeah, you don't have to get after me. There's enough people there. So CPAT's like, yo, he asks his stepbrother, like, yo, your car is a huge car. How many people can you bring? It's like, I can bring enough. So this is kind of important. So Lenderman sees Els and it's like, yo, you betrayed me. And he puts a paper where everybody's that's involved. So Lenderman sees the paper and says, yo, you named me. So then he kills Elle. And then Veronica doesn't have the paper. However, she has an information that, yo, the guy's still alive. So because she knows that she's still alive, she can prove that he's still alive. The whole part doesn't matter because they lied. Lincoln is committed for a crime that he didn't commit. So now the cops goes in and they're telling the guys in the car like, yo, there's nothing there. So the whole plan goes very well until they see the drain, and then the drain is messed up. Now there's a problem. Lincoln goes in and he's trying to push the tube down, but it doesn't work. This is really nice. This is really nice because of how fast it's going. Et voilà. So yeah, so we're gonna stop here, and I'll see you guys today. But it's really good. The way it's going, it's going really good. We're on our way. I'm telling you right now. Today's the 21st. I have 13 more days. It is quite possible.